What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined by my dad, Sean, and today reactions to the classics. We are up to the halfway point of the 70s. Dad.
We are.
We're up to 1975 and our top 5 albums by year draft. It's been a very fun series so far, and we still got a long ways to go.
We got a long ways to go, man.
Started at 65, up to 75 today, and I think it's a much more loaded year than our previous year was.
For sure, man. Yeah, this year is really loaded. If you know how it works, I get first pick in this one. We trade off everyone. Trey gets 2 and 3. I get 4 and 5, and so on. And I don't know if that was an advantage on this one or not because this one's so loaded. I might have wanted 2 and 3, but I got number 1, Trey. So let's start this thing off with the only thing it could be for me, if you know me at all, guys, if you're a regular watcher of this channel. The boss himself.
Dude, that's right. He's up here, man.
He's right
up
here. Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. My number 3 album of all time. His 3rd studio album, but it was do or die, Trey. His first 2 albums were very well acclaimed. However, they didn't sell. And Columbia told him, you either put something together or we're going to release you from your record contract. And Bruce had kicked around for a long time just playing clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was a career musician. He had no fallback. So he spent 6 months on the title track. Just on the title track to get it perfect. Took 14 months to record it. Only singles, title track and 10th Avenue Freeze Out. Thunder Road was not a single, but you got that. You got Jungle Land. There's only 8 songs. This thing is a masterpiece. The big man Clarence coming in. I mean, it's a masterpiece.
No, man, it's the definition of all killer, no filler in my estimation, man. I think the best Bruce record, the first Bruce record I heard, the thing that made me fall in love with the boss
I still think it's
himself.
the best too. You know, we'll take it to the back streets if you believe it any other way.
That's right, man. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that pick, and you can't go wrong with my number 1 pick, which it's so hard when you're talking what's the greatest album of all time whenever you're comparing eras and genres, but I think this is on the short list when you're having that conversation.
It's in my top 5.
Yeah, it's Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, and I mean, obviously you have the title track. Shine On You Crazy Diamond is just one of the great prog rock tracks of all time. Yeah. Come On Here Dear Boy, Have a Cigar's up in here as well. I just think this is the band at their peak in my estimation. There's not a wasted note on this album, and it's one that you can, once you hear that first note and Shine On You Crazy Diamond, you're in for the rest of the record.
Well, yeah, and I think we both agree that it's better than Dark Side. Not as iconic, not as influential, we get that, but I think it's a better album. And the title track may be my favorite song of all time, which is a hard thing to quantify, but it very well may be. So fantastic choice, and I would have definitely taken that with my next pick.
No, man, as you see, man, we got some heavy hitters.
It's loaded.
Well, going from one absolutely iconic band to another here, I'm going to go with Queen's A Night at the Opera. Obviously this got quite famous in recent years as Bohemian Rhapsody movie came through. Obviously, Bohemian Rhapsody is on this, one of the more iconic and famous songs of all time.
Not even one of my favorites. I think it's by far their best album, just my opinion.
No, I'm a big fan of the Prophet song as well, which is kind of a long epic and really shows some great phasing with Freddie's voice. 39 is awesome. A great jam. You got a fun track, and I'm in love with my car.
Yep.
Queen is, I don't love Queen as much as many of their fans.
I don't either. I'm more a singles guy with Queen.
But whenever you look, I think at an album for them, this is their peak in my estimation, from start to finish. Just a great musicianship, and just a very fun record too.
My second pick, Mr. Zimmerman himself, Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks. 15th studio album already. Got Tangled Up in Blue. Idiot Wind, a funny song, man. Shelter from the Storm. I mean, this album's fantastic. A lot of people think this is his best album. You and I don't agree that it is by any means, but it's still a great, great album.
No, and it gets to the heart of that heartbreak, I guess you could say.
Yeah, definitely does. A personal album for sure.
And, that again has that iconic nature of just that a bit of an odd cover, too, where it's almost like a painting and whatnot. And, a great pick there.
Now, my next pick is a band that, I've come after at times, but I also recognize their greatness. Physical Graffiti. Now, if you asked me to spell graffiti 10 times, I probably couldn't do it, right in those 10 times. But double album, 6th studio album, went to number 1 in the U.S. and the U.K. Tons of great songs. Down by the Seaside, I think, is underrated. But then, of course, you got the classics. In My Time of Dying. And then, of course, Kashmir, which is nearly up there with Stairway to Heaven as far as their iconic songs. But everybody everybody firing on all cylinders. We talked about it before on this list. Not a huge fan of double albums, but this one works.
No, man, I think yet again that's a great pick. The D side is a little weaker for me on that one, which brings it down just a hair. But I mean the difference in genres and styles that Zepp was kind of experimenting with at this time. And at this time too, Dad, you notice like a lot of these iconic bands came out with those double records.
Album, that's the way we were doing it, man.
And now I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. Maybe a record that if you're not a fan of country music, you haven't heard. But the great Willie Nelson, who's still going strong today, in his 80s.
88 years old. Ooh. Still touring. Wow.
I'm going with the concept record, Red-Headed Stranger, on this. And this is one that really just kind of gets you into that Western type of feel and country type of atmosphere and story. It goes pretty quick, too. It's just about 30 minutes long. I'd enjoy the title track, and I think the big one here, Dad, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, of course, is, quite one of Willie's bigger hits, even if he didn't write it per se, man. And so this is one I think you should check out if you're not traditionally a country music fan.
Yeah, we have a review of it. Oh, it's one of the first reviews we ever did. Probably one of the first 10 reviews we ever did.
For my fourth pick, I'm going to be going now with the Mac. Fleetwood Mac self-titled record. And of course, we have this before the mega rumors that's going to be coming up in a couple years. But this album is still great, I think, in its own right. Of course, we have Rhiannon, which is one of the great Fleetwood Mac songs. My girl Stevie Nicks out here putting in the absolute work, along with Crystal, which is great. Warm Ways, I enjoy. Landslide, of course, yet again.
That might be that's like my third or fourth favorite Fleetwood Mac song ever. And I will let you go on with this trade, but I actually did a reaction to this album on my own for one of our patrons, Rich. It's fantastic, man.
And seeing the Buckingham and Nicks kind of being added into this group, and finding their ways, so to speak, and just firing on all cylinders pretty much, even before we get to rumors. Is impressive, man. Very catchy type of songs in this great instrumentation, and man, I really enjoy that record.
Yeah, and I'm going to go up with a guy that's appeared on a lot of my lists, but he's here again. It's Uncle Neil. It's Tonight's the Night. His sixth studio album. It's actually recorded in 1973. Big story in that. Go watch our review of it if you want to know all about that. Title track's on here twice, Trey. There's some cleverness on here. The Borrowed Tune song is great. The melody and chord structure are based on the 1966 Rolling Stones song Lady Jane, so he just called it Borrowed Tune. But Neil's really firing on all cylinders at this point, so it's just fantastic. And I'm going to finish this off with Patti Smith's debut. John Cale produces this thing of Velvet Underground fame. We Got Horses. Great songwriting throughout on here. Only 8 songs. I think the standard on here is Gloria, but I don't think there's a bad song.
Yeah, that opener is epic, man.
Highly influential.
And I think too, you see this kind of cited by a lot of new wave and punk bands as being one of the records that really made a big splash for them. And like you said, man, songwriting on that's fantastic. And my last pick might be one that I don't know how many people have heard, but I've really fallen in love with this gentleman's music. It's going to be Curtis Mayfield. There's no place like America today.
It's a good pick, man.
Yet again, I think here Curtis didn't ever shy away from that social, political type of commentary in there, and you have that on this record here, along with just those gorgeous soul arrangements. The opener, Billy Jack and When Seasons Change, are fantastic. The song Jesus is great, and even the closer, Love to the People. It's only 7 songs, 35 minutes, so it's short, sweet, to the point, man. And I think Curtis is a guy that maybe doesn't get lost in the shuffle per se, but he's not at the level of popularity as many of the other artists we've talked about today. So I always like to kind of give some love to that.
No, I think that's a great choice, man.
So that does it from us today, man. Touching on some honorable mentions here, we have another Neil Young record that I'm a fan of.
Zuma, baby. Got Wings, Venus and Mars. Have reviews of both of those 2 albums up.
That's right. A little Earth, Wind, and Fire action. That's the way of the world. A little krautrock rock with a new 75, if that's your jam. Sabbath's firing on all cylinders here with Ozzy One Last Time on Sabotage. And then an instrumental from a piano record from the great Keith Jarrett, the Cone Concert, which is just a lovely suite of music right there if piano is your jam. jam, man. Go check that out. And of course, let us know your favorites from the year, and let us know which of us you are choosing as your winner.
I think this is the most clear-cut winner I've seen since we've been doing this. I'm being serious, but that's just, and I don't ever politic for myself. But anyway, yeah, that's what I think. But all right, guys, so I guess that'll do it for today. We'll be back next week if you're watching this along in live time with 1976.